No doubt. You got what? Do you have a question, Howard? You want to start things off?
How are you handling the Hassan Reddick situation since it's come out?
Yeah, I don't see there being a situation. Hassan's been here every day and working his butt off to get himself back on the practice field. Working his butt off to make sure that he's healthy, so this injury that he's going through right now doesn't linger all season. And engaged in meetings, engaged in practice, engaged in the training room. He's, Hassan's a great teammate and a great player. I'm glad he's here.
How did the relationship with Brian Johnson evolve as he stepped into this new role this summer?
I try to make it a point that I'm close with all my coaches, as far as, just being tight with them, because I think that's important. That's what we preach to our team, and, I got to practice what I preach. And so I've really valued the relationship that we've had over the past 2 years. When you're a quarterback coach, you're in all the discussions that a coordinator and the head coach are in together. So, Brian's been there through all our discussions, and it just so happens he's got a different hat on this year. But, really value the relationship we have, and didn't know Brian when he first got here, but knew he did a great job in the interview, knew all the good things that I had heard about him as a football coach that warranted him getting an interview. And, he's just done an outstanding job since the day he set foot in here. And, and I've really enjoyed getting to know him and be, his colleague and also his friend.
What's Jalen done this past week that's particularly stood out to you?
I'm sorry, Zach.
What's Jalen done this past week that has particularly stood out to you?
Oh, I just think his consistency is showing. Again, you're going to make splash plays in camp. You're going to make some plays that you want back in camp, and it's all part of the process of getting better every day, learning from your mistakes, and also getting better from the things that you've done well. But I just see his consistency over and over again. I'm sure he's made some big time plays that you guys have seen. That throw to AJ on the vertical route was awesome. It's just really been his consistency. I think he's operating at a very high level as far as within the offense, just understanding even more so why we do things, how we do things, and he's really like a coach on the field with those things like that. I think our conversations in the quarterback room just keep getting deeper and deeper, and as far as how we really are dissecting all the things that we're doing, the things that we're complimenting of things that we already do well. And I just continue, again, I've said this 1,000 times about Jalen. He's going to reach his ceiling, whatever that is, because of all the things that he has inside of him, and I just see that continuing to show out, and I see him continuing to get better. I'm really pleased with how he's been so far throughout camp. I just see continued improvement and continued consistency with Jalen.
Running back, Nick, along those lines, are you looking for specific things in him now that maybe weren't a year or two ago when he was younger in his development?
You want to just see the development on all your players of them being more comfortable, them continuing to get better. And I wouldn't say I have a benchmark of anything that, I want to see or anything like that. I just want to see them operating at a high level. Again, training camp, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have some great plays. And it's just about, sorting through them and getting better every day. So I'm just, again, pleased with his consistency.
Nick, at running back, it's obviously a lot different than last year. We were pretty clear that Miles is our guy. Are you envisioning like a pure running back by committee this year where it can
it can look any way. I mean, again, we're early on with pads. Running backs show out when their pads are on, even more so. You're just looking for different things that they can do. You adapt. You always adapt to what your players do well. But also there's some things that you want to be able to run. And so you want to be like, all right, who can do this job well, and who can do this job well, and who can do this job well. Sometimes it's the same person throughout, and sometimes it's by committee. We'll see how it plays out. We're still learning some of the new guys of what they've done, but I'm really pleased with the new guys, and I really like with DeAndre and with Rashad. And then I'm really pleased, obviously we've been through Kenny and Boston have been productive the last 2 years and made a lot of plays for us the past 2 years. not only in the season but in the playoffs. And then, I can't say enough about Trey. We were really excited to get him last year. He was able to get some game reps. We really liked him in practice. And so, yeah, it's a good thing when you have competition at a position because it just brings out the best in everybody. But, again, it can look any way we need it to look. And, we'll see. We'll see how, as we continue down the road, we'll see. Good thing is I don't have to make a decision on how it needs to look quite yet.
You talked about your first year, Nick, about how much you leaned on Frank for sort of like head coach stuff. How much do you find Shane and Jonathan now reaching out to you?
They don't call me as much as I call Frank. No, I miss those guys. I miss being around them. Not only were they great coaches, but also good friends of mine. And so, I always check in on him. I tried to call Jonathan yesterday. Obviously, he didn't answer though. But he's busy, right? He's busy. But no, I always tell them I'm there for them if they need anything. But you know what? They were around me for 2 years and even and plus, right, with some other things. So I think they have some of the answers that they know I'll give to them. But I enjoy talking to them. And again, like I said, I miss them and. I miss the people that they are and being around the building and seeing them every day. And so I'll talk to them every once in a while, but they don't need my help anymore. They got what they need from me, but I'll be glad to help them anytime I can, and unless it's a week we're playing them.
Kayvon got some first team reps. How does that go into it? Is that a defensive coach saying we got to work at Kayvon? Is that pre-planned? How do you guys?
There's a lot of different ways that works. But you earn your first team reps. So Kayvon's done a nice job. Kayvon's been done well for us on special teams these past 2 years, and now he's got an opportunity to, there's some safety spot open, and he's got an opportunity to be able to be in the mix. And so, that's just seeing like when, you look at different guys in different spots, and as far as in the rotation, you want to see how they operate with the ones. You want to see how, if they're normally with the twos, and Kayvon's earned reps, and that's just how that situation went. He's earned reps. There's a spot being battled for, and he's in the mix for that.
You start to learn things. I know it's only been one practice, but what some takeaway or two from the first game?
I just think our guys, when they're out here and they're grinding and they're working their butts off, and so it was an intense practice. It was physical practice, and that's who we pride ourselves on being, is a physically tough football team. And you saw that in our practice, the way our offense and defensive line went against each other each period, and then also the way our defense tried to take away the ball and our offense tried to protect the football. So I just thought it was physical, and a physical practice to start off with pads, and we look to build on that because we know that we pride ourselves in being physical, and when we were late in the season or even early in the season, we want to win games because we're a physical team, because that's what football is, right? It's a lot of times the more physical team wins, and there's a lot else that goes into that, I understand, but we pride ourselves in that because of the guys that we have on this team.
Every time you talk about the running backs, you include Trey Sermon, who obviously hasn't played that much. What did he show you last year to kind of include him in that group of young guys?
We really like Trey coming out first and foremost of Ohio State, and we really liked him. When guys get drafted, sometimes you bang the table and you're like, shoot, you can't get everybody. And so we were really excited to get him when we got him last year. And again, when he was in a deep running back group last year, and when he was in and had plays, opportunities, we thought he did a good job. But, that's what we all saw. That's what you guys saw. That's what we saw. But we saw it every day in practice, just the consistency, the athleticism, his quickness, his physicality, and he's a big, good-looking guy, and we really value that style of run that he has, and we saw that every day. And again, we're treating practice just like we treat a game, and so we're gonna see what we need to see in practice, and he showed a lot to us last year.
What did you see from Marcus Mariota? I know he's had kind of like the interceptions and stuff like that, but like just what he's doing on the field, adjusting, and also off the field.
Yeah, obviously he's just learning a new offense, and his skill set has some similarities in some of the way he runs it to Jalen. So getting him up to date to why we do things, because everything may be a little different, right? If you're running a zone read, maybe we tell him to read it a little differently than maybe he's learned in the past. So. Or taking a play, a drop back pass, he might read it a little different. So it's just getting him caught up to speed, and he's continuing to do that. But I think you see his athletic ability on display. He made a really nice play the other day in practice where he got flushed out of the pocket, stepped up, and ripped a crossing route to Greg Ward. And I thought that just showed, the kind of player we saw on tape, why we wanted him here, and pleased with where he is, and he's just going to continue to get better as he gets more comfortable in this scheme. He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker, very serious. Comes to work every day looking to get better. I think that's the best way to explain him, that he's a playmaker, and you see it on practice that he can create mismatches, that when you get him the football, he can catch the football and make plays with it, and also in the backfield. It's different catching the ball on the outside than it is coming out of the backfield. It's sometimes you look at backs, and when you look and evaluate backs coming out of college, and I'm speaking of the pass game right now, we say to ourselves, does he have running back hands or does he have receiver hands? Because it's different. Like, catching the ball on the perimeter is a different feel than it is when you're catching it coming out of the backfield. And he's really shown, I think what we've really seen is that you're going to be able to move him around multiple spots because of his ability, not only with his athletic ability and his quickness in and out of breaks and his speed, but also the way he catches the football is, it looks like a wide receiver catching a football out there. So credit to him, just what he was blessed with, but also the work that he's put in to continue to develop his hands. So, so he can be a dual threat running back.
Two more, please.
How
Two more.
You've got a first place schedule this year. You guys are sort of one game at a time, one day at a time. As you're trying to instill urgency in their guys, you can talk about it with them, big picture wise.
No. Big picture wise, I think again you just focus in on the day that you're at. You can't win 2 games until you win 1. We're all locked in, but you can't win that 1 game until you put in the work each week. And right now we're locked into training camp, putting in the work today at practice. Then we'll go in, we'll put work into recovery, we'll put work into nutrition, we'll put work into the meetings, we'll put work into walkthrough. But all we're focused on is today. I think that's the best mindset to have, of not looking too far ahead of yourself and just being where you are today, because all it's about is about getting better so you can be successful down the road.
Alex spoke last week about the debate of running backs around the league. What's your perspective on that issue, and especially because you're close with some players who are kind of in the middle of that right now?
Yeah, I mean, again, fortunate I get to coach football out there, and I don't have to deal with contracts or deal with anything like that. And I'm really appreciative of Howie that he deals with that. Obviously, he asks me questions of what I think about guys, but I don't have to get involved with discussions with players or agents or anything like that. I'm very grateful for that because that's not my expertise. That's his expertise. I'm just, I don't really have a thought in it or a comment on it. Just, you want to see your best guys be rewarded, and whether that, and hopefully that's with you, and you continue to be able to work with the guys that have done well for you.
All right.